Hi, Vibe Tribe. This is Jess Venus with Life Force Energy. This has been such a transformational eclipse that we just had on May 26th. This was the second super moon of 2021. And this eclipse that we just experienced in Sagittarius had rocked and rolled relationships, friendships, jobs, home locations, just life routines, careers, you name it. It's shifting, it's evolving, it's happening. How many of you have been experiencing some dramatic changes due to the eclipse that we just had? I had some major light shed onto areas of my life that needed to be brought to my attention. So, with the Sagittarius eclipse, it was giving us a sense of knowing that certain parts of our lives and our past and our present that were not dealt with or confronted, or perhaps we may have figured at the time were completely addressed, resolved, and released. And then we come to find out, here comes the eclipse. It sheds light into our lives. It's a very dramatic time of great change in our lives, and then we find out that there is more work to be done. The lunar eclipse moon, which is also named as the super flower blood moon that happened on May 26th in Sagittarius, the theme was breaking free from our past, also letting go of harmful self-talk or even situations that you've outgrown. I personally went through a major change in 2020. I had multiple people, family, friends, people that I had intimate relationships with had sought out for me, found me one way or another, and reached out. It was literally in a cluster. And so that showed me that it was time for me to confront my past. It was time for me to learn and to grow, to speak my truth and set my personal boundaries. Now, there's nothing wrong with protecting your mind, emotions, body, and energy from others for your overall health. And I share this because it's something that not only do I also recognize and have to put into practice and apply in my life, but I hope this inspires and encourages you as well, whether you're the one that's placing the boundaries or the one that has their boundaries placed upon them. Personal boundaries are principles, rules, standards, and limits that a person can create to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave towards you. Self-preservation can mean showing others that you love and respect yourself. But most importantly, by the way you treat yourself and the way you allow others to treat you, it's also telling the universe what else to continue to send forward into your frequency field. So, for example, if you focus on or if you allow yourself to be surrounded by people and situations that are harmful, stressful, uncomfortable, depressing, that can lead you into anger and frustration, it's something for you to consider about changing your environment, making choices. And so I want to talk about how when we create boundaries, what the victim and the victor is like. The victim struggles with any count of accountability, if there may be, based upon every situation and condition will vary. But usually the victim has been under some form of distress, some kind of uncomfortable condition that has been overall in their health and wellness has been debilitating. So then we have to make a choice with whomever we are encountering or the conditions that we're living in, how we're going to change them. I know it's a lot easier said than done. It's uncomfortable to make changes that may require more money, letting go of people that we loved and had a wonderful connection with for many years, or even for a short time, but even those short bursts are very powerful and beautiful. And then all of a sudden, we discover that our frequencies don't match anymore for multiple reasons. It's the way we think, it's the way we perceive life, it's the way we react, how we behave. We all have different moral compasses. We have different conditionings from our family, perhaps even our cultures, religions, spiritual practices, and other things of that matter. And so we've got to make choices about what we will allow in our lives. And a lot of the times when we make choices that will change the dynamic of our relationships or even our work environments, home location, whatever lifestyle changes that are occurring in your life, do know that those changes are necessary. It may feel very uncomfortable, and at times it can be very difficult and bringing a lot of tension. But once you come to the point of acceptance and peace about how certain situations, people, jobs, locations we live in can be based upon seasons in our lives. Also, in regards to the victor mentality, when we get to a place of realizing that perhaps whatever situation we may be in, whether it's relationships, friendships, career, home location, whatever the lifestyle that is now out of balance, look at the frequency. Everything on this planet and outside of this planet, out in the galaxy, is all based upon frequency. I like to call them frequent keys. Frequencies to me are like keys that open up different doorways and also unlock new vibrational attraction towards whether it's, again, family, personal, or professional, what have you. And so the victor mentality is acknowledging that the frequencies no longer match. And it happens. You have to imagine we change physically every 7 years, ourselves. We even change not only in our outward appearance, but our inside of our bodies are changing based upon whatever we've placed into our bodies, our environment. Consider the same idea whenever we are changing and moving onwards from people, places, situation, and circumstances. So taking on the victor perspective is acknowledging the people and situations that you have been in contrast with and what lessons you can learn from these people and situations that you encounter. Imagine that each person that comes into your life, maybe they're a guest star or they're a part of the cast. The reality is that people come and go in our lives, whether it's for a few seconds at the grocery store line, dropping a seed of knowledge and affirmation or edification or confirmation, or you can have people that come into your life with a longer season or for the permanence until your last breath, until you are ready to return back into your energy form. Those people, good, bad, and indifferent, have also came in agreement, choosing to be a part of your life to help you to grow and to change. In contrast is the way I see as if we're birthing. Like diamonds, they go under great pressure to be formed. And so as you are being crystallined in this timeline, you're under a lot of different forms of pressure, and our planet is showing that. We have another eclipse happening, but it's a solar eclipse happening, I believe, on June 10th in the sign of Gemini. And so this is a more analytical, this is more a fluid eclipse energy that is going to bring in those new beginnings. So on May 26th, we had our endings, and now on June 10th, we'll have our beginnings come forward. So we got to go through this time period from 26th to June 10th, where it's like we are processing, we're reflecting, we're realizing, and we're growing. And so the victor mentality is taking accountability. Listen to this. Perspective is tricky. My father told me this story as I was growing up, and he said, Jess, he says, now imagine, he goes, here's perspective. He says, there was a car accident. There were the people that were in the car. There are the people that are outside of the vehicle that observed the accident. Yet everyone was present in that time of occurrence, in that life event. And everyone's perspective will be very unique, perhaps similar, yet everyone's perspective is genuinely their own truth. What they see, what they feel, what they experience is very real to them. So I'm going to tell you, I just recently went through a disconnection. It was a reconnection to a disconnection. And I'm grateful for every aspect of it, because I had an opportunity to learn more about the person that I reconnected with. I got to learn more about myself. And even the disconnection, it's going to be the same thing. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. And I gained something really beautiful from this opportunity that I was given with this eclipse that just happened. I saw something beautiful, and I've always known this, but it was just very heightened and sensitive for me, because the greater connection, the greater the loss it felt like at the moment. So in regards to the perspective, as my father has shared, so I may have a victim mentality, and the person may feel that I have been a difficult role in their path. And then the story, vice versa. Yeah. So my story about how I felt in regards to certain connections with people, they will have their story as well. And guess what? Both versions, at some degree, is their truth. Now, how we perceive and how we are able to take and gain greater insight from it is all of our own. It's very unique and personal. Yet it's very important and vital to our development as humans, because we desire to come onto this planet to have a human exchange, to experience emotions in a heightened manner. We desired to gain a greater understanding and knowledge and connection, not only to God's source, but to one another as a community, as a totality. And so what I would share with you is that everyone's truth is their own version of their truth. And we can go ahead and point fingers, and we can debate, we can argue till our faces turn blue. But the victor will walk away not necessarily having to fight or to badger, or become angered or bitter or not forgiving. But the victor can change from victim and forgive those who have caused them pain, and forgive themselves for allowing certain events to transpire. But at the end, the victor understands and realizes that every situation of exchange that we have is to guide us, to mold us, to evolve us, to grow us. And the other thing is that perspectiveness, perception, the way we are able to take this information from our bodies, everything is a frequency. We're just taking it all in. It's important to observe it, focus in, acknowledge whatever it is the particular contrast may be, see maybe the other person's perspective, see your own, and then if you see that your vibrational frequencies no longer match, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. It takes a lot to be able to say, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I'm sorry. And whether you apologize or not, whatever you have gained from your soul's perspective, may it grant you greater peace, understanding, clarity, deeper knowledge, and connection, not only to yourself, but to others, in a manner that you are putting healthy boundaries up. Because deep healing allows yourself to feel and to go with the flow so you can grow. And then at the same time, it's not putting the defenses up, because then it's not fair to the others who haven't trespassed against you or that didn't do anything harmful. You're missing out on those blessings. You're missing out on those beautiful, intimate connections if you allow others that may have trespassed your boundaries in a manner and allow them to just permanently destroy it for someone else or for yourself for that matter. Lessons to be learned in regards to these major galactic impacts on this planet. Lessons to be learned about how we will allow ourselves to be treated, how we can treat others, how we're going to go with the flow in this planet is really important. And also shedding light on our shadow selves, coming to reality with who we are and what areas that we're still growing in, and giving people grace to have the same opportunity to do so. Even if it means that you can't be a part of their path, their journey, that's okay. Even you stepping aside shows yourself respect and shows the others respect as well. You're honoring one another's personal boundaries and peace, and giving each other the space and opportunity to evolve without choking another person's breathing environment by being still present when you're no longer necessary. And it may sound difficult at the moment, but frequency is everything. And so what I've learned is that if the frequencies don't match, bow out gracefully, walk away. It's for yourself and it's for the people that are also involved. There's no need to create any further tribulations, sadness, anger, or any kind of further bantering or communication that is harmful and that's not edifying. And then the other thing is too, I have this beautiful message that I was given. Notice the people who make the time, who show up in your life and stay present in your life. The ones that love you in all of your versions. You're like a crystal, faceted. And so those who desire to be present and recognize all of the facets of who you are and that are able to respect, honor, appreciate, and give you the opportunity to be who you are. Now, those are the people that you want to keep around you. We build one another up, not tear one another down. And as we are approaching the new solar eclipse in June, imagine all these astrological changes that are currently impacting our planet, is impacting our lives. It is urging us to pay attention to our inner wounds so that we can heal and let go. I want to thank each and every person that has entered my life, however the season may have been. Thank you so much for the conversations we've had. Thank you for the adages, the advice. Thank you for holding space. Thank you for the laughter and the joy and the memories we've created. Thank you even in the times of our hostilities or adversities, or in the time of our separation, that we came to an agreement and realized that it was in each other's best interest to give each other the space. And from a distance, that we can show one another love and peace by giving each other the space and also the life to live without any further disruptions. It is a time to no longer dwell and yet to move forward. This is the theme that we are currently in frequency and energy. The choices and events that we have made at this point in our lives may have even seemed fated, as if they were meant to be. And what are you learning from these opportunities that have showed up during the 2020 and all these other further galactic impacts on our lives? This is a time of healing and and being restored. When you are feeling at any time when things are a little heightened, because it's going to be, It's going to be, and it's going to be this way for quite a while. We're looking all throughout the year, different intervals of heightened frequencies and intensities and purging and releasing. I'm going to tell you, this is an opportunity to journal, meditate, do forgiveness work for yourself and for those that are no longer in your path or that you're now choosing to release and let go. Forgive yourself because you had to gain a lot of understanding through those relationships or those jobs that you were at or the home location you were in, whatever your lifestyle may be. There were challenges, obstacles, lessons to be learned. And this is an opportunity for you to allow optimism to lead you and to be the bright light in the shadows of your life so that you can expand and move forward. And I'll tell you this, I have gained greater perspective and I'm constantly learning, and I'm very happy to be doing that. And I will tell you, I'm opening my mind to all possibilities. I am using my gifts to help the world. And even in my times where life may have been difficult and I had to give myself some quiet time and really sit with my thoughts, my feelings, and hash it all out. And I was being channeled. I was being told by Divine Universe that when I have requested, when I spoke into my crystal grids, into my moon rituals, when I was praying, I was setting out my commands, I was saying, I am the breaker of chains. I had said, I have come to break the curses of my ancestors. I have come to say that I am the bringer of light, the healer of light for my present and into the future on this timeline and moving forward. So imagine I'm speaking all of this rebirth. Of course, there's going to be death. Death to old ways of thinking, to old relationships, to connections with family, friends, old jobs. Like, a lot has changed for me. I no longer have my daycare. I no longer am a practitioner at such a wonderful temple that I was working with here in Colorado. I have stopped modeling. I have stopped traveling. And all of that at first at 2020 may have seemed very difficult because it was. Of course it was. It was changing the way my routine was. And later on, as I had to be comfortable and happy and fulfilled in my own space and with the people that I was still able to connect with, even with social distancing, whether it's through Zoom, on the phone, and even at a safe distance face to face, it has been an opportunity for me to heal myself. It has showed me how to be strong inside and out. It is teaching me my talents. It is teaching me who I am in my spirit. It is showing me that I'm worthy of giving and receiving symbiotic love and respect and honor. So I have gained great guidance and clarity. But as I said, anytime that we are claiming and calling in a rebirth, we must remember that there is a death to that for us to be reborn into a new life, a new version of ourselves, a new light, so that we can walk into new possibilities and opportunities that are ahead of us. So I wish you all a fantastic new beginning showing up on June 10th in Gemini. It's a time to focus in, the intelligence to awaken, for you to become more aware, to give you greater clarity, and that may your thoughts be life-giving, restorative, ambitious, motivating, affirming, edifying. May it bring you great pleasures of joy in your life. And I thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share with you what I've just gained, what I'm learning through these eclipses, through these major energetic impacts on our planet, how it's influencing and changing and redefining me. And I am grateful. Yes, I've had my moments of release and cry and forgiving myself and others, and just acknowledging that everyone comes into our path and our story so that we can continue to change our narrative and to grow into beautiful new chapters And so I'm grateful. And I wish you all love, insight, and healing. Thank you so much for joining me today.